Hello and welcome into my archive. I'm Jaylene and today I wanted to share with you guys my small, well, it doesn't feel small now, but growing comic collection of comic books. As we go through them, I'm just going to share parts of my journey with comics and yeah, so I decided to start collecting after my first Comic-Con. I don't know if you guys have been to your local Comic-Con, but unfortunately for me, mine's is like the big one. It's New York Comic-Con. I do think it's totally worth it to visit your local Comic-Con. While it may be a little overstimulating the first day, especially like for me and stuff, it was so cool to just see how many fandoms are represented throughout comics. And it's like, it goes, for Comic-Con at least, it goes beyond just comics. I think there's like, it's TV shows, it's like a lot of stuff, a lot of fandom culture that originates from like anime, manga, comics, graphic novels, all of that goodish. I think it's a good mix of all of them. I started thinking of collecting them when I went to my first Comic-Con about 2 years ago. And then it wasn't until I went to London, ironically, that I purchased these two comics. So this is Red Hood and the Outlaws and Secret Six, and I will explain it. My entire collection is in fact to DC. I don't know if you could tell. I don't know if you could tell by the logo on the corner. But it just happens to be that DC and its characters have always been more kind of ingrained throughout like my childhood to adulthood. From like, I can name like a pivotal DC related thing in each of moments of my life, like from Teen Titans to Young Justice to the questionable CW shows that I actually ate up, and to like the Harley Quinn animated series, all of that stuff. All these characters have kind of played just an impactful, like memorable point in my life. So it felt natural that like if I were to get into comics, it would be DC characters. And yes, for Red Hood and the Outlaws, I only read this originally. I didn't wait to read this till I had the physical copies. I actually have the DC Unlimited app, and I read Red Hood and the Outlaws because the sole purpose was that I was obsessed with Jason Todd. Still kinda am. Jason, and this was like his only like full run by himself. So yeah, basically him and the whole fact that I was like obsessed with the Bat family on Tumblr was the reason why I decided to choose Red Hood and the Outlaws. Now Secret Six, I bought randomly. I truly just thought it looked nice. I noticed it, but I didn't notice, if you can't tell, that this is volume 3. I picked up volume 3 in London, and I was like, because it looked cool. I was like, it looked intriguing. I looked up as much as I could because there was no service downstairs, and I was just like, okay, cool. Then got all the way back to America, and I was like, fuck. So I had to get the other series, or the rest of the series, which I'm gonna put these off to the side. Oops. Which led me to getting these. Okay, wow. All these little variants. And this is also how I found out about variants in searching for this one, I believe. This is actually the variant cover for volume 3, which is the one I have. And this is volume 2. So this is this variant. I found this one before I found out about these variants, and then I decided that these were going to be the variants that I wanted. Unfortunately, I don't have volume 1's variant. I don't even think I have volume 1. I mean, issue 1. I don't know if you want to call issue 1. But I have 2, 3, 4, and 5, and I don't have 6, I believe. I forgot which variant cover I wanted for this one. I don't think I liked many of the variant covers for the last one. But the first one has the other 2 of the Secret Six on it. Which is Deadshot and I'm not calling him Catman. What the fuck is his name? I already forgot. Oh, it is Catman. Okay, I was right. So it has Catman and Deadshot in it. So, yes. Great, hold on. So Secret Six was one of the first few series that I discovered out of any like influence or like proper research. And it was so saddening to find out that it was only a limited time run, which just brings me to some questions while we stare at these beautiful covers. I'll pick this one because it has all of them on it. But how do we deal with timelines? Or, like, so this is for my seasoned comic heads, the ones that read it and they kind of have a better handle and grip on, as a society, what we do when it comes to comics. But how do we deal with timelines? Because I know that these all technically branch off. I don't know if they all, like, individually, character-wise, branch off into their own series, but they do separate, right? So when I'm reading, there's like little comic bubbles. I don't know if I'll find them, but like if I do, I'll put it on the screen. But they'll like reference other or different series. So when we see that, do we just kind of like nod and be like, okay, it's a kind of more like if you know kind of thing, or is it more of like, okay, great, now we need to add that so we have better context to it? I just need to know, because like I have all of these and it's just like I don't know what to do. Oh, speaking of variants, I have variants outside of like proper series. I grabbed them. So when I first started, it was most of this is Gotham related characters. So these are variants that I have. I'll put this one over here. These are variants that I have, but I haven't properly read their series. Right? Okay, great. Actually, I just realized something. This is Batman. And I think I picked it. Okay. That's great. So for some of these, I think these two are part of the new Batman run. I could be wrong. I think I'm right, though. These are part of the new Batman run. And these were covers that I liked. They're not necessarily the artist I picked to stick with variant covers. You'll see him later on. But, these are the two that I have that are actually a comic series that I am reading currently, slowly but surely. And I guess this one too, no? Because this is volume 1. Yeah, he's a little warped. I don't know why he's a little warped, but I think he got wet. That's why. Okay, which, speaking of limited run series, and another one that I self-discovered without any proper... Hold on. Boy Wonder. Which this is how I discovered my favorite artist, or comic artist. I'm trying to like, cause like the light over here is too bright. Okay. Oh well. Boy Wonder. Woo. We follow Damien as he goes through he just tells the story of like all his brothers and the previous Robins, and I really liked the art style. It's a nice I guess like intro to the characters as a whole, and I think it's a very cute short series. It's only 5 runs. I actually follow Junie on Instagram now, and he actually came out with I don't know what you would call them, like the book versions of them, which has all of them together. I have that one, because these are actually really hard to find online. When I was getting them, could not find them, or they were like a crazy price, and my mom and I were looking and we couldn't find them, and then my mom was like, let's just ask the guy, and I was the social awkwardly person in me was just like, I can't, and she went up and asked him, and he came out with these two, and I was like, praise be the Lord, because yes. Now, because Junie is my favorite person, or artist wise, I do have a few of his covers. How did I mix these up? Hold on. I don't want to... So these are covers for series. Obviously Batman and Robin related, but these are Junie covers. I actually bought this one because I thought it was cool, and then realized later on that I happened to also grab this one, not knowing that it was done by Junie. I'm calling him like I know him by his first name. And then this one, this is like the one that I grabbed on purpose, is the Kids All Right one. And I learned about it during Comic-Con this most recent year when this goes up. And because I went to the KO panel. Also, question, because I know right now it's different. The KO knockout thing is entirely separate from the absolute universe, is it? Or is it inverse? This whole universe situation is what, like, conflicts or confuses me. Because then I feel like sometimes they may be referencing stuff that happened in different universes. Because I know there's the New 52, which is like the Red Hood and the Outlaw one. And the other one escapes me. There's like different versions of the universe, and I don't know who or what is happening sometimes when I look too deep into characters and their story arcs and trying to see like how I can read everything that's connected to them. And then, well, the third series that I don't have on me, which is ironic because speaking of Absolute Universe, Martian Manhunter is the third series that I kind of fell into without any sort of recommendation or help. And he's actually, outside of the Secret Six, Martian Manhunter is one of the few characters. Sorry, that was my phone. Is one of the few characters where to me, I think, is like he's outside of like the Gotham City universe characters. So yeah, and ironically, this is gonna be ironic, trust me, is what caught my eye about Absolute Martian Manhunter, that is such a long name, is the variant covers. But it wasn't until I went to Florida and I was in Books A Million and I saw that they had the one that has like volumes 1 through 5, issues 1 through 5 throughout in one little booklet. Did I buy the thing? So you think I would want to buy the variant covers, but I think the variant covers that I wanted were just like really expensive. So I was like, whatever. And I was like, when in Rome, I was in a bookstore in a different state and I was like, let me just buy it. So yeah, I don't have it with me right now because I have a massive herd of like 2 bags full of books that don't fit on my bookshelves right now. So I don't think they'll ever fit on my bookshelves because my bookshelves are full, but I'm still reading Absolute Martian Manhunter, and I started reading Batman. So David, I believe his name is David Aja. He's the variant cover that I like, artist that I kind of like want to stick to. Unfortunately, some of his covers were sold out, so these are the 2 that I have with me right now. He's my designated variant covered artist. So if any comic heads just want to send some recommendations over, please do. It doesn't have to be DC related, trust me, okay? I just happen to find myself in the very DC time of my life, okay? I'm willing to read outside, even like just outside of DC, but even outside of superheroes. When I was working on the notes and like for my video, I was reminded of Bone, the comic series. I want to say Bones, but that's like the show with Bones, not Bones. So I was thinking about Bone, the comic Bone, and then I was also intrigued. I remembered that I was intrigued by a novel that I saw in BookCon called Shadowplay. It's like a horror graphic novel, I believe. I don't know if it's like just one standalone or it's a series, but I'm really intrigued. I have to do a little more research on that. But really, I'm open to hearing anything outside of DC, and on top of DC, anything just outside of superheroes. So, oh, hello, you saw me. Hi. Hello. Hi. So yeah, just let me know. And that has been a look into my comic archive. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, comment below your thoughts, and follow if you want to see more of me. Yeah, I was really excited. Okay, bye! Hi! Hello! Ah!